Hello everyone, my name is Veronica Sagnola. I will be your presenter today. I will have to say in advances, I'm very sorry if you don't understand something that I say. English is not my first language, so I have an accent, which is very obvious, so just let that know. Okay, so going back to topic, my name, as I told you before, my name is Veronica Sagnola, and I will be your presenter today. And now, everyone, raise your hand about if you have ever watched, seen, or heard a fiction work. Well, I see that actually, I'm not surprised actually. I see that every one of you have your arm raised, which is a very interesting because according to Francesca Lobasso on her 2020 article "How Reading Fiction Can Shape Our Real Life," fiction has influenced us over generations, which means that it's very put on into human culture, and like you grow basically watching it. So on today's speech, we will talk about fiction on understanding world problem, fictions, how fiction challenge social norms, and fictions on climate change. So our first topic is how fiction on understanding world problems. And according to Francesca Lovaso, again, on her 2020 article How Reading Fiction Can Shape Our Real Life, and Sir Journal and Bruno Oliveira on their 2022 article The Goal of Visionary Fiction is to Change the World. Fiction increases open-mindedness, empathy, and compassion, and that can be that happens because it introduces you to new perspectives of everyone's stories, which make you see other things. It also let us find a new meaning, confront real world socio-political problems, which there's a lot of books that are very famous because of doing that. Some examples are Animal Farm, 1984, both by George Orwell, that make fun, present the Russian Revolution and communist parties in a satirical way, unless you take on a new perspective with you knowing what actually is, unless you make opinions based on that with the know the actual deal. Or on top of all that, it also lets people accept problems, brings people together by letting them have a common discussion topic. How fiction challenge social norms. According to Warren Fick on her 2018, storytelling can be a force of social change. Here's how: it influences children. It can be seen because a lot of shows that children see are fiction, and they teach them how to act. For a very good example is Sesame Street. There was an episode in that helped let the kids know how to control impulses. It also changed the way that people do things by introducing new things. Leads to higher education attainment by making people want to know more things, and can help to control impulses, as I told you before. Can spark revolution. Example of this being Uncle Tom's Savage Cabin, that was the last spark for a civil war, and it can shape workplace and markets. Now, fiction on climate change. According to Singer A, Kirby C, and Rapoli E on their 2023 article using fiction and non-fiction readings in climate change education, fiction increases awareness of climate change by letting kids know them in a more passive way, clears misconceptions, increases comprehension, interest, and engagement, and engage students beyond the classroom by because a lot of kids would like to read out in their home, and having them read these topics helps them a lot, and provide students with tools to help climate change. Now the recap. This for everyone that have no custom of things. Fiction has been used to change norms over the years. It's literally a thing that has happened for thousands of years. Lets you discover new perspectives and increases comprehension, interest, and engagement to climate change, especially in kids. And now a quote from a very famous author. You may Fiction is the truth inside the lie by Stephen King, one of the most famous authors of horror fiction horror, and you might know him. Well, bye. This is our presentation, and thanks everyone for being here.